Good morning everybody, welcome to my channel. My name's Dawn, I'm the Reclusive Crafter, and today is Quickfire Friday, and I'm hoping this is going to be a quick fire, but who knows, these things are all sent to try us, aren't they? But it is Friday, it's nearly the weekend, and we're in for another lovely weekend here in the UK. So I want to give a shout out to the Paper Sprite. I'm really sorry, I don't know what the lady's name is. But what I'm showing you today was something I picked up from her, and I've kind of tweaked it a little bit. But her channel is lovely. If you haven't seen it, pop along to her channel. It's absolutely fabulous. I really enjoy her videos. And yeah, this is where I got this from, or the idea of this anyway. And I just thought I'd walk you through it. So it's going to end up being a little tuck journaling spot for your journals, or for your folios or whatever. And all you're going to need is a square bit of paper, 8 1/4 by 8 1/4. Okay, so if we put that into centimeters, it's about a 21 centimeter square roughly. Okay, and then what you want to do is you want to fold in the edges. You want to mark where the center is and fold in the edges, but you want to leave about a 2-3 millimeter gap in between. In actual fact, I'm saying that, yep, it is. It's 3 millimeters. So it's a 3 millimeter gap. It's an 1/8 of an inch gap when you fold it over. So you fold in the sides that way, and you leave a little 1/8 of an inch gap there. Okay, and that gives you those flaps. If you can imagine this is a square, you then cut out that corner there and those two corners there. And I've allowed for a little flap down here of 1 1/4 inch, which is about 3 1/4 centimeters. And I've just folded that up like that. Okay, now I don't think on the original one that I saw there was this flap here. All right, then you're also going to need two 2-inch circles, either with punches, or you can cut them out if you prefer. You're going to need something to embellish with, and you're also going to need something to journal on as well. So I've got that, but it's got the butterflies on this side, and I thought I'd make use of this to go with the butterflies on the card. So if you've got your little bits cut out like this, I mean, let me give you just an idea of your cutout. So your cutout is going to be 3.5 by 2. All right, so you've got two 3.5 by 2 inch cutouts there, and you have got a 2-inch by 1 1/4 inch at the bottom cutouts. All right, and all I've done as well is I've just very slightly mitered those edges in there, so that when it folds up it's not catching on those folds. Okay, these won't matter quite so much, because what I'm also going to do, and I'm going to do this now while you're on camera, if I can find my little corner rounder, here she be. Okay, so I'm just going to corner the or round the corners, even not corner the rounds. I'm going to round the corners. Let me just make sure that's in place. Oh, this is a bit heavy duty stock for this little punch. I have got the I think I'm going to have to use it, actually. I'm going to have to use my crocodiles. I think I'm going to go with the 1/2 inch. I think that's about right, because I'm creasing all my paper up. That's better. Okay, and then let me get this folded down a little bit squarer. The trouble is, I'm trying to corner too many pieces at one go here. But do you know what? I don't rightly care. Oofed. Okay, I think we're there. That's all right, because those two corners are a little bit more rounded than those, but they're equal, so that'll do for me. Do for me. Okay, so I've cornered me rounds. I've rounded my corners even. Get my worms out today. All right, so we've now got to that stage. Now, as you can see, I've cut a little slot in here, and the slot again, you need to allow enough room for these bits to poke through. Okay, and I don't think I've cut that long enough for my butterfly actually. Might need to take a bit more than that off. I might need to take a bit more of that off. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to cut my little flutty by in half. I would do, oh, there it is. God, I couldn't see that for looking then. So let's just cut my little butterfly in half. Oh, I've mutilated him, look. He's very pretty, isn't he? Or I was before I mutilated him. And I am then going to stick one half on that one and one half on that one, like so. Why is it some days your brain just won't get into gear properly? Interesting. Now then, I've got a feeling I might need to cut my little slot a little bit bigger. Let me check this out, folks, before I start telling you a load of porcupines. Okay, because I've cut that slot to allow for the circle, but the butterfly actually is slightly longer than the circle, and I'm just going to check to see if that's going to go through there. Oh, and it will. Okay. Oh, that's nice to know. Good. Right then, in that case, I shall carry on. Okay, I don't have to faff about with my slot then, so that's marvellous news. So I'm going to put my little catches in place. So these two little round bits, okay, fold them in half. One goes over that side like so, and one goes over that side like so. Alrighty. And now, if we can get it it doesn't necessarily need to be central, but they do need to be together. They want to be together. All right, so they will go like so. All right, so when we glue these down, that's where they need to be. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to lift that up. I'm going to pop a little bit of glue. Look at me, I was so organised. I haven't even got my glue open, for goodness sake. And now that's moved. Okay, well, not a lot. Right, I'm just going to tack a little bit of glue on there because I want to make sure that the position is right. I'm going to lay that down and I am pushing that up to the folded edge there. Okay, and let's just make sure it still goes through the hole before we do anything else. And I'm going to just push that up just slightly and centralize it in the hole too. Alrighty, so make sure it's pushed well against the card there, and then let that set. And then we're going to do the same. Now this one isn't going to be quite so awkward because we've already got a line up there. Okay, so now I'm going to glue this one down. And I'm going to pop that in there. And again, make sure that the two pieces are lined up. Alrighty. Push it down. Just make sure they're both together like that. Okay. And make sure it still comes through. And then that will act as the closure like that. Alright. And if you're using relatively thick cardstock as I am, I'm just going to burnish that, give it a squash, give it a right good squash. There we go. Okay, so we've now got that. So that will come up that comes up, so that acts as the closure. Then that comes out like that. Gorgeous, isn't it? Absolutely love this. Very, very clever little design, very simple. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my little flutty boy on. All right. Now I'm hoping upon hope this works properly, because I hadn't considered the fact that the butterfly is actually taller than the circular piece. So I'm going to stick half of my butterfly on that side. All right. But before I stick the other one on, I just want to make sure that that is going to go through the hole. Tra-la! How blooming marvellous! It does. Love it. Okay, so now I can stick the rest of it down properly. Now I know it's going to work. Phew. That would have been nice, wouldn't it, to come on here and show you how to do it and it will be wrong. Oh, story of my life. Right, I'm just going to trim that little bit off there, just so it's not peeking over. There we go. Okay. Love it. Right then. And now I'm quite confident in sticking down my other piece, because I know it's gonna work. And then that'll go there. And you would have never known that I've cut my butterfly in half, would you? Eh? Marvellous stuff, isn't it? So clever. I am a great advocate of looking around on YouTube to see what other people are doing and pick up so many ideas. And I always like to give the credit on where I found the idea. So like I say, if you haven't found the Paper Sprite yet, pop along and have a look at her stuff. She does some absolutely really clever, interesting bits and pieces. There we go. Okay. They look all right, don't they? Nice. So that's those two. So I've got my two little flirty boys, like so. Well, it's not two little flirty boys, it's one little flirty boy cutting off. And then that comes through there. And then that comes over there. And it holds it all nicely together. I love that. I think that's so clever. Now, that's not the end of the job, because what we are now going to do is give ourselves a little bit of journaling space. All right. So I've dug this out because it's got some beautiful butterflies on it. And on the reverse side, it's just plain. So ideal for journal space. And I'm going to pop that on there. Now, I know when I was watching Paper Sprite, I think she stuck hers on there. I'm putting mine on there because she didn't have this flappy bit here, I don't think. But I quite... Oh, that didn't work very well. Don't try that one again. But I quite like the idea of having the flap there, because it kind of closes it all up rather nicely. I might be wrong, because like I always do, I see an idea, and before I've actually watched the whole blooming thing, I run off and have a play myself. And I've made a little bit of a mess there. I wonder if I can get that up. Where's my little rubber? Oh, I've just made it worse, I think. Oh, no, maybe not. Maybe not. I think it's coming off. It's just leaving a little bit of a pale mark on my paper. Never mind. It's only a prototype. Then I'm going to stick that on there like so. All right. So I'm going to pop a bit of glue on there. I need to stop jibby jabbering because I keep forgetting. This is Quickfire Friday. And then I'm going to pop that on there. Like so. Then I'm going to fold it up. And then I'm going to fold it down a little bit, just below those what are they called? corner curve bits so that it doesn't poke out. And then fold it up. And then fold it down so that you've got the patterned paper on the top there. All right. And now that just folds out like that for journaling. Okay. And then we fold these bits over. We pop that through there and we fold that down. And now we have got a little journaling card, pretty little journaling card, to pop in your journals. Like so. And pop that there. Now you could journal on there and on there if you wanted to. And in fact, I think I might even, I have got some more of this. I might just cut a little piece to go in there to cover up that little mess I made. That would be nice, wouldn't it? I'll just quickly do that. Where's my ruler? So that needs to be about 3 and, I'm going to cut it at about 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 by 4. That's 4 1/4, so that's too wide. Okay, not to worry. 3 1/4 by 4. So I'm going to do my 3 1/4 bit first. There we go. Pop that there. Beautiful paper, isn't it? I don't know where this came from actually. This was in that big haul of stuff that I got. That big stash of stuff. And I'm trying to slowly work my way through everything. So this is a nice little use for it, really. Clip that, clip that, clip that, and clip that. Tra-li-la-li-la. Okay, and now I'm going to pop that on there. Just tidy up that little space there. Fan-dabby-dozy. There we go. I think I want it up that way. So we're going to pop that in there. Perfect. Love it. You could, if you wanted to, pop a little bit on here to cover up the little circles. And I've just noticed that just needs tacking down a little bit better. That was the one I only tacked down. There we go. Give that a squidge. Technical term of the day, squidge. There we go. Okay, so now we've got that little thingy. So fold over, tuck in, fold out. Gorgeous. Isn't that just the cutest little notelet? Absolutely love it. I'd like to thank the Paper Sprite ever so much for showing that. I think it's absolutely fabulous. Just love it. Absolutely love it. So just once more, fold up your wings, lift up the top, fold out your sides, and then pull it down for journaling space. Perfect. Just love that. That's it for today, guys. I hope you like it. I'm going to put a link to the Paper Sprite in the description if you want to go and have a look at her channel. And I will see you all for Stash Busting Saturday tomorrow. Bye. Take care, everybody.